Good day. We are busy with the economic ordinary Namibian syllabus. We are still busy with 1.1. We look at point C, which is about the opportunity cost. But to understand point C, you must also know what's happening in point B, which we have done in the previous lesson, where we talk about the economic problem, which caused scarcity. So today's lesson will be about opportunity cost and how to answer practical questions on that. I just want to share some secrets that will help you to improve your marks or your students' marks. And this is that you must always repeat what you have done the previous day to test the students' knowledge and to recall, do they still understand the difference between a want and a need? Do they still understand what is the economic problem? And then what is the causes of this economic problem where resources are limited and wants is unlimited? Okay, you can also, the group work or the homework of the previous lesson, you can also discuss and look at that and make sure that every student understands the difference between what is unlimited wants for the government and what is limited resources of the government. Okay, on the board you have an example of opportunity cost. But firstly, we will look at this example and then we will come to a definition of how we will define, if they ask us in a question, which they like to do, ask us in a question, define opportunity cost. And such a question can easily count between 3 and 5 marks. So we must be ready for this. Opportunity cost can be explained with the following example. A business like Woermann and Brock, who mainly sell food, wants to open separate sections in their store. Say, for example, they want to open a clothing brand section and they want to open also a section where they can sell tools. They don't have the space in their store for both of these departments. So they decide then to make a decision and to choose then on their own, or to make a decision and choose which one is their first choice and which one they will forgo. Okay. Firstly, you ask the question, who is the decision maker in this situation? And obviously, it's the owners or the management of Woermann and Brock. And secondly, you ask the question, what is my limited resource? Now, in this case, it is not money, but it is the space, the floor space, that is the limited resource. And then your following question will be, as we have said, if you have unlimited wants and limited resources, you are put in a situation where you must make a decision, where you must choose due to scarcity. And if you decide on what you want, in this case, Woermann and Brock decide that they want the clothing section, and they will give then up the tool section. So if you have answered all these questions, you actually know what opportunity cost is. If we define opportunity cost in short, we can say that it is the cost of the good or the service we forego for our first choice or our best option. And in the case of Woermann and Brock, their best option were the clothing section or this clothing department, and what they forgo was their tool section, and the cost of that, of what they forgo, is your opportunity cost. So let us do then more questions that you can understand this. They say that you must use the information in the definition given to explain opportunity cost in a situation. So as I've said, if you take the Boerman and Brock situation, you explain, you can't just for 5 marks say it's opportunity cost is the cost of the good and service I forgo. You must put the examples given to you. In this situation, you start by saying that my Boerman and Brock's wants is unlimited. They want a clothing department and they want a tool department. Their space is limited, that is their limit resource. So you identify the unlimited want and the limited resource. Then the third and the next point, you will say that this causes scarcity, so we are forced to make a choice. And then Boerman and Brock make the choice. They decide on the clothing department and they give up the tool department. And the tool department that they give up is the opportunity cost, because opportunity cost is the cost of the good and the service I forego. If you answer it in exactly in that order or in that understandable way, then you can easily get 5 marks for a question like that or for your answer which you have offered to that question. Okay, we look at a different example for opportunity cost that you can make sure you understand how to answer it in a test or an exam. In this example given to you on the PowerPoint, you will see that the student left school. They started a full-time job, but now they have the option to go and attend night classes in accounting, or they can train every night of the week to get into the Namibian soccer team. So what is the wants for this? Who is the decision maker? You can first ask. The decision maker is the student, the individual. What is his unlimited wants? His wants is to study at night, and he also have a want that he want to try and get into the Namibian soccer team, so he want to train every night. So he obviously can't do both. Why? Because he has a limited resource, and the limited resource for him is time in this case. So we have now seen money can be a limited resource. We have looked at Boerman and Brock and see their floor space is a limited resource. But in this case, time for the student is a limited resource. So the question that can be asked in a test or an exam to a student is use the information above and discuss the opportunity cost with the use of scarcity and choice. So by that, I'm actually telling you that you don't only give me the definition. What is the definition? Opportunity cost is the cost of the good and the service I forego for my best option. So you can't just do that because you must include scarcity and choice. So, and if you do that, it will also not bring you to 5 marks. So if I must start a question like this and I must answer it, I will start with what is my limited resource in this case, that it is the time for the student, what is his unlimited wants, the soccer training and his accounting classes. And then I will, for the third point, say this causes scarcity because he can't do both. He is put in a situation where he must choose. And if he made the decision, he can say, for example, that he will continue to train for his soccer or soccer every night to try to get into the Namibian team. The opportunity cost of this situation will be what he forgo, and what he forgo is the accounting classes, which he can't attend. That will allocate 5 marks to you if you explain it in that way. We have an extra question for you, which you can use in an exam or in a test for your students. Here is an example on how you can test the students on this topic. For defined opportunity cost, you can allocate 3 marks to it. And then you can give them an article from the newspaper, which you copy paste. And then you ask a question. Say, we have an example here that the government want to build an office block, or they want to build hostels for students. And in this case, you can use this information from an article, like this example, and discuss the scarcity in choice and opportunity cost for this situation. This can bring you 5 marks, or they can allocate 5 marks to an answer, like this. After you have marked this, you can discuss this with your students. In conclusion, you must be able to explain the definition of opportunity cost and explain opportunity cost in a day-to-day situation from an individual's point of view, like we have done now from the student, from a business point of view, where we have taken Boerman and Brock into consideration, and from the government's point of view, where we said the government need to build schools and need to buy cars for the police. And in any of that situations, there is opportunity cost involved. So you can, in any situation in the newspaper, you can also see articles where or a business or an individual or the government are put in a situation where they must choose.